on, everyone? We're back again. WrestlePurists Worldwide, episode 33, hosted by the usual panel. Today we're going to be covering Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar, 3 reportedly happening at SummerSlam, Andrade's latest updates on his return and all that kind of stuff, and a few other things that have been popping up over the past few days. But first things first, please like, subscribe, super chat, all that good stuff. Always appreciated. Hope everyone's doing good. Thank you for joining us. But yeah, man, starting with you, Joe. How are you doing on this fine Monday?
I'm terrific, mate. Another day in paradise, and we're rolling. New week. Feels like we haven't done this for a while. It's actually been, I believe, 4 days. That's the life of a world's champion.
Some hard workers, bro.
Been a productive day, brother. The WrestlePurists project's moving along, zipping along. Things are looking good. So I'm delighted to be here as always. Monty, how are you, mate?
I'm not too bad. It's a good day. You know, starting the week fresh, productive, all that good stuff. You know how it goes. Manny the Hooper, what's good?
I'm good. You know, just chilling. Spring cleaning. I hung up the rest of my masks.
How many you got up in total now?
Fuck, man. It's probably over 100. I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah, my favorite one is that Naito one, right there. Yeah, I mean, besides that,
that could have been like one of about 6 masks.
Bro hit the Sabu point, called it a day.
I mean, besides that, and then scaring chiropractors. I mean,
what?
Chiropractors.
Oh, why are you scaring them? What's going on there?
I went to the chiropractor for the first time on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
The first one I went to, he was let's just say amazed that I'm walking.
Why?
He asked me if I've been in a wreck because the way how stiff my neck is, and I can't turn it all the way and look all the way up, and then I can't bend down all the way and all that. He just kept asking me if I was wrecked. And then I said no. Then he said, "Do you play football?" And I said, "I haven't played football since freshman year." And he said, "Well, after you played football, did you do amateur wrestling?" I said no. And he says, "Well, these are injuries of someone that's the amateur wrestler." And I said, "No, I don't." And he couldn't pop any in my back and my neck. And he just said, "You know what? You're going to have to come back every other day for a while." So then I went today again. It was a different guy, though, this time. He laid me down and he said, "I've been doing this for 42 years. I know when someone is lying to me and all that and trying to, do that. I've never seen a neck and a back like yours. Like, I don't even, went through all the stuff to pop it and make it relief. And you're fucked. This is not you're fucked, but he said, I can't do anything." Like, he told me I have to sign up for a gym that has, a pool or something to work out and, less stress in my body. And he was just like, "How long has this been going on for?" And I said, "I don't know, maybe since, high school or something. I don't know."
Many at the age of 24 being Terry Funk up beyond the mat.
Because then the other guy was asking me because this one pulled me to the side and was asking me this question instead of asking me in front of everybody that was there, the other guy. And he was just like, "What do you do?" And I said, "Well, besides nursing stuff, I podcast and stuff. I mean, I don't know what else to say." And then this one today, he was trying to feel my neck, he's like, "Well, I'm trying to find out what's wrong with your neck." And I don't know, it's just weird and all that. I don't know, you should probably go see a doctor or something. I'm like, "Bro, you're trying to scare me and all that." I mean, I just wanted my body adjusted. So then he told me to come back tomorrow to go see a different guy there.
You sound like you're in a bit of a mess, man.
Yeah, I mean, I am probably
sending my best wishes to you.
It was funny.
So it's the WrestlePurists universe,
Yeah, the funniest thing, the first guy asked me was, "How do you get around? Are you always in pain?" And I said, "Yeah, but I feel like it's normal." And he says, "Well, how do you sit down and lay down?" And I said, "Does it bother you?" And I said, "Yeah, it does bother me. I just kind of deal with it." So he's like, "You just sit down all day and you just do stuff and you just deal with it?" I said, "Yeah, I mean, it's just what I do."
He asked, "Aren't you always in pain?" And man, he said, "Yeah." And Manny is confused at all of this. Incredible. Beautiful.
So
Wow.
that's good stuff, man. Hopefully, on a more of a light note, Ibu, how are you doing today? You know, news hasn't gone your way today. You know, but you know, it's been a nice day and all that good stuff. How are you doing today?
Life is full of ups and downs, and I've experienced both today. You know what I mean? I finished up New Japan's Dominion show. That's an up. I'm feeling physically a little bit better. You know, the 2 days off kind of makes you recover a little bit. You know, my shoulder is getting slightly better. That's an up. Made myself some famous backup hangman gyros in the afternoon. I mean, that's a massive up right there. You know?
Sounds good.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you know what I mean? Had the gyro. Yeah. But I did find out this morning that Cody Rhodes is facing Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. And there's nothing wrong with the Cody Brock Lesnar matchup. You know, as you guys have known, I'm a fan of both of the matches so far. The problem here is that means that Cody Rhodes is not facing Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. Now, either A, Dave Meltzer's incorrect. B, Cody Rhodes wins the Money in the Bank and cashes in on Roman Reigns at the Madison Square Garden SmackDown in July. Or C, Cody's just not facing Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. And if he's not facing him at SummerSlam, then that means that the nightmare scenario for me, which is Cody versus Roman at Mania, is on. And I'm an impatient man, and I don't want that to happen. So, you know, that's unfortunate. That leaves a lot of room for a Cody Bray Wyatt program in November, which, you know. Just think about it,
What an
Monty.
evil laugh.
If they don't face until Mania, right? That's a lot of dead time at the end of the year for both guys to do filler work, right? And you know what WWE likes to do with people when they give them busy work. At some point, it's inevitable. It's like, you know, what about
inevitable.
Bray? It's inevitable. They just throw Bray at a guy. You know what I mean? So that's unfortunate, but we'll get into all that and some other stuff. And,
Hey man, what does a Cody Madhouse match look like?
Madhouse.
Oh, what?
The Madhouse match you did with John Cena.
Funhouse, right?
Funhouse.
Yeah, I don't want to imagine. I don't want to imagine that because you know Bray would talk to me like, you know, man, what if we had you beat Dash and Cody and Stardust and Legacy Cody, and it's like, all right, bro, like, all right, you know.
Well,
there's no well here, Joe. Mind you, can you imagine 4 months from now? I was gonna say, keep in mind, 4 months from now, you're just like, so what did everyone think of the Uncle Howdy Cody angle? Did you guys think, you know?
Uncle Howdy.
Oh, no, man.
Remember that? Remember that guy?
Cody doing promos on Uncle Howdy could be something worth exploring. I'm just saying. I'm not saying it'd be good, but it will be very funny. So
be good for us.
There was a streak where we used to talk about Bray as the top topic on Worldwide for like 2 months straight.
Wait, what?
You don't remember those days? We would just talk about Bray for like 30 fucking minutes.
Well, there was a while where we overcorrected, and because we all just accepted Bray does weird things, we'd gone so far we'd stopped discussing just how, like, Uncle Howdy was insane. It deserved, I maintain, it deserved more coverage how nuts Uncle Howdy was. I don't know what that character was supposed to be, but I'm pretty sure he was some sort of criminal. I'm almost certain of it. We'll never know what the end game was there, fortunately or unfortunately. It's just a lost piece of history, you know?
I remember that because that's when I accidentally fell asleep on stream. And then Monty said, if you're going to do that, you got to turn off your camera.
That was when you were ill. Remember you had the blanket and you were all...
We have a good time on these Monday pods, you know. We do.
Yeah, man.
We do.
We have different eras, man. We have different eras of the Worldwide.
We do, man. We do. Different eras of the channel. We're growing, you know. We're still babies. Anyway, gonna do some super chats and then we'll get into some topics. Probably start with the Codyverse, you know.
Yes.
All right. So, Willie $5. He says, Ibu, it's time to acknowledge your tribal chief. Long may he reign. Here's to 1,000 more days on the island of relevancy, fellas.
Facts.
Cheers. Cheers to you, Willie. Ibu, any sort of acknowledgement for the tribal chief?
I mean, I have no choice to at this point. You know what I mean? The guy fucking...
Yeah, he's cooked you, bro. You know,
The guy fucking beat Cody, and he popped the 2.9 million viewers.
Mhm.
And what was it? A 0.8 what the first quarter? What was it?
0.87.
Fucking Jesus Christ!
That's so real, bro. I'm not.
Like,
I don't care
That's
about ratings, but that is so
over
real.
1.1 million people in the key demo. That is a 0.87. So
that's insane.
that's the sort of star we're dealing with here,
And
people.
also,
you know?
that's something to add to Monty. You know our email that we send to Dave every week about the Usos Hall of Fame candidacy.
Yeah.
Time to get adding, brother. We got
The
we
fact
got a
that-
new
the fact
point.
They got 3 million people tuning into a wrestling TV show in 2023. It's pretty insane.
That's wild.
Right. Darren KG, $5. With Cody Roman 2 seemingly off the table for SummerSlam, do you all think they save Usos, Roman, and Solo for SummerSlam, and they do Jimmy versus Roman at Money in the Bank? Brother,
That's
I'm
Monty
too,
and
I'm
Joe
too
Spears.
I'm too locked
Joe
in on
Spears!
the tag match at Money in the Bank to I don't think they'll do Jimmy versus Roman on pay-per-view. I don't
That's a
see it.
TV match.
This
you
is a
know?
nightmare. I experience this nightmare every night. You know, this is something I'm currently battling. I'm pretty confident. I think if anything, they'll do the tag in London, and Jay may get another shot at SummerSlam. But we shall see. I'm gonna keep the cards close to my vest for now. You know, there's a lot
I'm
going on.
gonna hold these super chats for a minute
Okay.
because we have been joined by
Oh,
what says here the Tribal Chief Associate, which I believe Ibu has invited along, the one and only Eye Beast, on a big evening for Roman Reigns. 0.87, over 1 million people in the key demo, 2.9 million for his quarter. Huge star, over 1,000 days. Doesn't look like he's dropping it to Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam. So the floor is his. Ibu, here
yes.
is your guy, Tribal Chief Associate. Would you like to introduce him a bit better than I have?
Sure. So this individual has been at odds with me all year because, for those that know, iBeast is pretty much the most ardent Roman Reigns supporter on social media. He famously made a thread right before WrestleMania. He was the biggest voice in the space saying that Roman should win at Mania. And as you all know, I mean, we all thought that was idiocy. I mean, like Cody Rhodes losing at WrestleMania, that's not going to happen, nor should it. It's Cody Rhodes. He's going to finish his story. And iBeast made a big thread about how Roman needs to hit 1,000 days and reign supreme and become the greatest of all time and all that stuff. I remember when I responded to this guy, he told me that Cody can maybe win it at WrestleMania 42, which is in 3 years.
42 is great.
Yeah. So iBeast is out of his mind. I respect his dedication to his tribal chief. I will pay respects to the fact that Roman Reigns had 2.9 million people watching him for his segment at SmackDown. I still believe that Cody Rhodes is a superior wrestler, a superior promo, a superior draw on occasion, a superior face of the company, and the man.
Hold on. Yeah, I'll let OEB pull you up on some of those ones.
And I also believe that Cody still should have won at WrestleMania, and it would have made a lot of the booking since make a lot more sense. But that's just my view. iBeast, sir, how are you doing today?
Hey guys.
How are you?
Yo, what's good?
How do you feel about the SmackDown numbers, sir?
I'm standing up. I'm celebrating. Rah! Hoo-wah!
Are you surprised by the number, iBeast?
Not at all, bro. I've been saying for so long, bro. I've been saying for so long, but nobody wanted to listen. Now you are listening, and I said to correct you. I said WrestleMania 41, not 42.
I got a question for you, IB. So on our platform, we have a member named Charlie, and she is the expert of Elite lore. And so whenever I have a question about what's going to happen with the Elite, I ask her because it seems like she can interpret this much better than anybody else, right? And so I'm going to trust you as a bloodline guy to tell me when to expect what. So my question to you is, when is Roman dropping this championship? Realistically. Have you talked to him about it?
He's going to break Hulk Hogan's record, that's for sure. So that's another year. That's September 4th, if I'm correct. So
of this year?
No, next year.
Oh my god. Okay. So he's going past WrestleMania with the championship.
Yeah.
Really? When is Cody going to finish the story, Ivies?
So either WrestleMania 41 or he's going for the other title.
What's the end game here? Is Roman gonna do this lonely at the top? He's fighting with his cousins here, man. You know,
If
going on family.
if it was up to me, I'd have him break Bruno's record. But you know,
That's like 4 more years, right? Or whatever the fuck.
bro,
I
go
think it's
big.
6.
Did you say go big?
Yeah.
Go big or go home. 7 years or nothing, you know.
How do you feel about losing your trusty soldiers in the Usos?
So obviously, I had to you know, when you got one health, you know what I'm saying? After that kick, I had one health, you know what I'm saying? I had to re-health myself up to 100, you know what I'm saying? So
You're saying your health was diminished when the Usos when
Yeah.
Jimmy beat Roman
that's
Reigns.
exactly what I was saying.
Right. You didn't tweet for the rest of the day. I don't know if you guys saw that. This guy didn't tweet for a fucking day.
I
You know,
turned off everything. I was
Right.
just staring at my ceiling.
right?
You know what I'm saying?
This was that was crazy. Like I someone should have checked on you, man. Like I was worried. I didn't know what was happening. I thought, I don't know,
You
but
know, this isn't a story no more. This is real life. You know what I'm saying?
right. It's cinema, correct?
Sorry, what'd you say?
It's cinema. Am I right?
Yes, it's cinema. Sorry, Reg.
Oh, you said sorry, Reg. Oh.
I'm getting into the discourse of the day.
Yeah, right. But yeah, man. Look, I wish you all the best, IBeast.
Thank you.
I don't hold on. I don't wish Roman the best, frankly. I hope this thing gets wrapped up as soon as fucking possible. I don't see how the group stays intact any longer. It appears to me that Jay has a choice to make, and I think he's gonna make it within.
Alright, so I just want to say thank you for allowing me on here. I appreciate you guys. This is a good pod, and yeah, Roman still reigns. Peace out.
Peace, man.
I'm going, IBeast. Thank you, sir. That was IBeast, the biggest Roman Reigns fan and supporter on Twitter.
Live chat is really something right now, you know.
Are they going insane?
I learned a long time. You gotta listen to the people, and they came up pretty big. I said, "Fuck it, let's let them go."
Did they really? Were they? Let me.
I'll be honest with you, bro. I was ready to get in there and grab a hold, and I saw the people, and I said, "I'm going to stand in the open and watch them. I'm gonna let them do the dance."
Mad people writing eyebrow.
I looked over at Ibu and the pace car, and I tagged, got him in. You know.
Joe, you know, like those super heated tag matches in history where like a guy comes in and tags and this match is going fucking insane. You're just like, Jesus Christ. Oh my.
I could tell what the people wanted. You know, they wanted it. So here's what it is.
Joe,
God bless, man. You know,
we jumped 70 viewers.
I heard them. They don't want to see me. Tag.
The quarter shot up and Joe was like, oh, all right, you know. I get the same check regardless. You know what I mean?
hey man, that was something, you know.
Very much something.
It was definitely something. Manny changing his picture towards the end was something I just.
What the hell?
The live chat went crazy. We love our live chat as always. I always say we've got like the best live chat of any wrestling podcast, you know. Speaking of which, let's get back to the super chats before we actually dive into these.
Murph said in DMs, "This is unbelievable," and he said, "You need to try and get this guy to be a regular." And AEL said, "IB's just popped them in the same number." I'm crying.
We have to, you know, we have to.
Monty, that is what this business is all about. You know, you never know what's going to connect with the people. That's tremendous.
Mr. Sacco, and it's like over as fuck. You're like, okay, you know. Go ahead, man.
Back to the super chats, man. Darren KG $5 with Cody Roman 2 seemingly after. So, this is one I've already got to, so we can get to this one. Seth Rich Rogan, $50 super chat. Appreciate you massively. You sent this one before we even went live as well, so just, you know, truly appreciated. Mania 42.
Thank you so much, Seth.
Cody gets his third visual pin on Roman after hitting the crossroads off of the SmackDown fist through 8 tables in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Cody gets up, gets super kicked by Steen Erico. Roman retains by headlock takeover in 45 minutes, 30 seconds.
There's only one person who would put over that finish on social media, and we just saw him on this spot.
Fair. But yeah, appreciate you very much, Seth Rich Rogan. Don't think I've seen that. I don't think I've seen that name much in the live chat before. So popping in and dropping the $50 on the Mania 42 prediction. You know, it popped us very much. Appreciate you as always. Zaid Nadi, $4.99. Appreciate you very much. Reason why Roman won was because it's harder to get 1K title reign than heating Cody up for a rematch. At this point, got to be WrestleMania 40 or not at all.
Let me see. Reason why Roman won is because yeah. Look, you know what I'll say? So when we were talking about the Mania finish in April, right? One of the things you lamented was like, how does the company stay hot until even SummerSlam, right? And what we've seen is against all odds and certain, in some respects, almost against the grain of like wrestling logic, they're still pretty hot when it comes to like ticket sales, ratings. Cody Rhodes individually still gets great reactions, which is impressive. Which is why I think they should pull it now. The question now is, can they keep that up until Mania? So I don't know. It's not my preference, but I don't know what else to say about it. Yeah.
Look, I know I shouldn't go in this direction, and I'm cautious even heading this way. But when all this went down, Monty had a pivot that we laughed at very much. I'm sure some of you will remember this after WrestleMania. Monty was looking, he was scrambling for an adjustment, a play to call. And he flashed that image that may even still be in our string. I don't know, Monty.
I don't think
Jey
it is.
Uso.
I got rid of it.
Jey Uso with the now former blue belt over his shoulder. And look, I laughed. I remain uncertain that's the play, as much as it popped me. But let me tell you something. These cooler hours, brother. Maybe it's got to stay in the family, brother. I'm just saying. I mean, maybe if this really is cinema. Maybe that's the only way this thing it has to end how it started. It has to end with a Jey Uso super kick or some shit. I mean, I think it's worth throwing out there. So we'll see. We'll let it play out.
Absolutely. Zaid Nadi again. Appreciate you. Roman is so godly though, by the way. No, best in Roman is so godly though, best in the world since 2020. Listen, he's had a case ever since. He's the biggest guy in the business. So, ever since then, he's really, he's been rolling on that. Big
Crazy,
hero,
man.
Chris. Ooh, Appreciate you with the $2. Reese Hayes, $2. Hooper walking around like Tanahashi and Matt Hardy.
Well, yeah.
Bro, basically. That's how you made it sound. Like you're hurting over there, man. We're praying for you, brother.
Thank you, guys. It's just another day in the life, man. You just gotta live with it.
Absolutely.
I guess. Average Limp Biscuit enjoy £4.99. Appreciate you very much. National Cody Fan Club Association, $4.99. Appreciate it. Ibu, we will prevail at the end. We Code Men will finish the story.
Code Men.
That's such a crazy profile pic, bro.
Is that bald Roman? I can't see from my thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
That is a bald Roman Reigns. Dan Walker, £5. Ibu, will there be a WrestlePurists podcast on Saturdays or Sunday nights to preview and review Collision shows? Any special guests for those shows?
Thank you so much for the super chat, Darren. I do expect to be on Sundays more weeks than I'm not.
Hold on, someone else has just joined us. Is he coming in?
Oh my god!
Are you coming in?
Oh my god!
Mystery Vortex.
The forbidden door of WrestlePurists.
Worldwide forbidden door.
1 sec. I'm a bit distracted.
There's a lot going on right now. Yes.
There is.
You want me to fill some dead air, brother?
Read that super chat, please, brother.
Chi-Town Spurs, $5. What's stopping Heyman from pointing at these ratings and saying, let's beat the record? Genuinely a good question, because you could very easily argue that nothing is stopping him than that. Honestly, I think he's already said similar. Ibu, your read on the potential political maneuvering of Paulie dangerously.
That is absolutely something he can and would do.
Yeah. Would be the least surprising story ever, right? Very much in line with things that have been said already. So,
him and Roman Reigns smugly walk back into Gorilla at Saudi after the Jimmy Uso turn, and basically we're just like, this is why you listen to us. We know what we're doing. So
that's the game I love, right there. You know, that's the game I love.
They hold.
I believe in this shit, bro.
Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns. The argument can be made genuinely that they hold more creative power in WWE than Triple H.
My question is, once this bloodline thing ends and they stop doing this Usos thing, where do they go from here? I mean, they can't do 7 years of Uso shit,
Just close the promotion, right?
Close the promotion.
Just file for an ME, lose it, and pack it in. I think. It will be interesting because it's definitely been the first case we've had in a while of a true. This will pop you, Manny. Big angle, an A storyline that really does business. Like the ratings, suggest it's been game changers. So I think it's a good question what they do afterwards. It's going to be hard to get something that replaces it for sure.
I take it. I guess you have been watching what the BCC been doing. I mean, that's some big angle shit,
But I'm saying that has like a commercial impact, Like BCC are great, but
Well, hold on, Don Callis, Takeshita, one day gonna headline MSG or something,
I hope so. It'd be great. We'll see. I'm in. I'm with you.
Murph, YouTube 199. IBs, you are a legend. You should replace Ibu. That's very spiteful,
I don't agree with either.
These extreme super chats. He's got to stop people, but nonetheless, Imzadong, $5. Seeing my child Ibu twerk for a man bearing the imperialistic flag of America makes me weep. You have strayed too far from the Lord, my son. Ibu, any words?
No.
In response? Fair, very fair. Willie, $2. Gonna need a WrestlePurist Brits and IBs meet up at Money in the Bank.
Oh, well, hold on. It's not. Yeah. I'm VIP, brother.
Robbie impacts a paragraph, of course. Rob, I'm purist. Appreciate you as always. $4.99. The end all be all, the chief, the prophecy, the legend, the head of the table, the face that runs the place, the dollars and cents.
That's very spiteful and very good, I must say.
The one. Throw your ones up, people. Romelu Lukaku, $4. Appreciate it. Ibu, I know things look bad now, but you never know when you can bounce back. Have you considered moving to Italy? The baddies love it down here. Ibu?
I've heard that Italians aren't particularly friendly to people in my
that's a generalization in itself, Ibu.
A bit true. That's fair.
I've never been to Italy myself, to be honest. So.
Can you imagine? We both come in and say Molignano, and it's like, all right, damn, my bad. Okay.
Miguel A, $2. Appreciate it. When are we getting WrestlePurists in Espanol? Ask Manny and Anna, as I believe they can speak Spanish. I can't. So
I gotta be honest. I don't believe Manny can speak Spanish.
But not good enough to carry on like an hour-long conversation.
It's that like my
Could
parents.
You do Spanglish for like an hour?
Definitely.
Yeah. Probably piss off Anna a lot.
God bless. Far 422, $10. Bloodline angle is about to be better than Game of Thrones season 7 and 8, knowing Roman and his love of the show. Lol. Also, IB's popped an equivalent of a 2.9 LMAO. Hey man, he did pop a number, brother. He did. He's all heart, $5. Appreciate it. So, Ibu, after you get fired, will we be seeing you with 5-4 no DQ or? Oh yeah, Ibu. Since someone's brought it up now, you tweeted. I'm gonna date it and everything, brother.
Boy.
Don't you worry. You tweeted on the 30th of April before we podcasted. You said Cody Rhodes will finish the story at SummerSlam. I will bet my career on it. We'll talk tonight on the pod in 90 minutes. You didn't clear this with me before you tweeted it, and I'd like you to explain yourself now and what your plans are, because Cody ain't finishing the story at SummerSlam. It looks, brother.
You know, that was a Dave report, but we have not seen anything established for SummerSlam or Money in the Bank in regards to Cody Rhodes. So until I see a graphic, you know what I mean? Until I.
Look, I've got to say, as a veteran in this locker room,
Yeah.
I'm a friend of yours, Ibu. Where I think we've had some great matches together, but there is no excuse for going into business for yourself. And
He's very Cody-esque.
Rule number 1: you got to live up to your stipulations.
I will say though. I will say, did I name the SummerSlam that he's finishing the story at, or did I just say SummerSlam?
Oh, get out of here!
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Mania come under a mask, brother.
Yeah, right. Incognito. Listen, and did I say what story he's finishing at SummerSlam? I could have said the Brock Lesnar story. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna look. I'll use this logic.
Looking for loot. This can't, you know.
Yeah.
You just wanted to get the proper number and stuff, and make it just like Cody Rhodes, you know.
Bro, did you see the match tips that he wanted for this match on? Or you co-tweeted the bunkhouse or the
bull rope?
Bull rope. Bro, I saw that and I said, bro, come on, that ain't happening in WWE.
This is a case of Manny skimming through things and
I'm not on Twitter anymore.
This is Manny. Listen, this is Manny misattributing things. I tweeted about the bunkhouse and bull rope match, and that was my predictions for what the stipulation could be, because the report was that it's going to be a stipulation. I think you said that's what Cody wants.
No, I said that's what you said.
Oh, okay. My apologies.
He said it like he wasn't here.
Yeah, right. Cody wanted to do a dog collar match, and that was shot. Yeah, he did. That was shot down. Wasn't specified to me by who. When I asked about it a week ago, I didn't get an answer on who turned it down specifically. I just got told Brock wouldn't be keen on doing that specifically. I don't know why. And today, right? And today, Alvarez said it's going to be a gimmick match we have not seen in a long time. So who knows what that means? Probably something that was done in Crockett. So that's why my guess was bunkhouse or Texas bull rope.
All right, let's appreciate the super chats. Please keep them coming, and we will get to them eventually. But we do need to dive into some of our subjects and stuff, and one that has broke since we've been on the air. So, just to kind of spit it out, PW Insider is reporting that Vince McMahon is backstage at Raw. This is the first time. This is the first time since the one after Mania, I believe. It does note in the report, but of course, it's in. The Raw tonight is in close proximity to
Hartford.
Yeah, so it's one of those again where it's kind of local, and it's like kind of, I believe it's something that I think it might have been myself and Hulbert that we kind of speculated, like when it will be convenient and easy for him, probably won't be that surprising that he does pop backstage and fucks around and does his thing, and he does what Vince does, what we all know that he does, But we was very doubtful that he was going to be travelling on the road. So it seems a few months down the line, that kind of seems to be the trend that we're following here. And if it's local to him and he's in the city or whatever, or it's close, then he'll go. But he's not going to be flying around the country every week and stuff, because he's an old man and shit. And I know Vince is a machine, and he's done more than what most people his age have done, for better and for worse, definitely. But, he's backstage tonight because it's local. We don't know if he's made any changes creatively. That has not been noted. I'm not sure if Sean Ross Sapp has done a report on Fight for Select or anything yet. I just know that, like I said, this is all broke while we've been on the air. That's why I was a bit distracted earlier when we was going through the super chats. But, Manny the Hooper, Vince McMahon, he's creeping back. I know you're a big fan.
I don't even know how to respond to any of this. I mean,
that's why I'll throw it to you first.
I don't know. What's he going to do? Just walk around and see who's still working there. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't even know what's planned for the show today, so I can't even tell you if he's going to change anything. Or...
The opener was supposed to be Kevin Owens and Gunther going 20 minutes. So if that doesn't happen, then you know why.
Oh man, fuck man.
Okay, I'm sorry to be this guy because obviously I would like to watch the match, but that feels like saying they should kind of
save on paper.
Yeah, because like, have they ever touched? I don't think they have, right?
No. Well, I mean, they had a 6-person tag where they maybe had a 2-second interaction, but they've never had a long singles match, no. Or singles match.
Maybe I'm outdated with that age, but it feels like it could be like a, if you eventually get the belt on one of those guys, the new belt, that would be a hell of a damn program, wouldn't it? Good lord.
Be a nice.
Would, but have you also
6-minute match?
Have we also considered that Raw is 3 hours long?
Well, yeah, I simply won't watch it. I suppose I shouldn't really comment on the matter when I'm not going to watch the show. So yeah, it's fair. It'd be great regardless. I mean, you could do it again, right? So it's not like you can only do it once. But, yeah.
It is you are absolutely right though. Like, that is a pay-per-view match. Like it is every day of the week.
I'll tell you what, Monty. So as this news was breaking, I asked, and I actually got an immediate answer. And I just said, "Is Vince at TV?" And then he said, "Yes, him and a bunch of other guys in suits that I don't know by name." That was the response I got.
The Terminators are there, man. They're over here.
Why is Vince at Raw with a bunch of guys in suits? I don't know. And I can tell you this: Vince has been in 2 Raws during the Triple H eras. He's been at 2 Raws in the Triple H era. He was at the Raw for John Cena, if you remember, and at that show, he just sat in Gorilla and didn't say or do anything. Then he was at the Raw at Mania, where he did a lot of things. He blew up the show 5 fucking times. So what approach is he going to take tonight? Who knows? Is he going to just completely sit and leave it alone? I mean, that's the ideal, but do we really think that's going to happen? I mean, it's Vince McMahon. Who knows?
I think he'll just do his my current betting guess would be he makes one change. He makes one significant change, put his dick on the table, and then I don't think he'll be like frantically like the Raw after Mania, like rewriting shows and stuff, because like it's mentioned in the report and like you mentioned as well, he's with a bunch of suits, man. That could be people from the merger, It could be anything, man. I mean, I doubt Vince is going to be like fully locked in, running around like a maniac and shouting at people like a lunatic when he's got those sort of guests with him. That would be my guess at the minute. But I'd guess that he still wants to put a bit of Vince in the show.
He'll do some weird shit for sure.
I got to be honest with you. If I was Cody Rhodes, I'm actually taking this opportunity to politic. Like, I would walk up to Vince and be like, "Yo, man, me and Roman at SummerSlam, man. Like, what do you think? I would honestly politic. Like, what's the worst that's gonna happen? He either goes, "No, I think you gotta say that one for Mania, pal." Like, what's the worst? Like, just go for it.
All Cody has to do is just trust the process. Everything would eventually work out. It worked out for the Sixers. It was gonna work out for Cody. So
that was.
It didn't
completely unnecessary. I don't know why that had to happen now of all times.
It didn't work for the Sixers at all.
That was one of the more venomous things you've said, Manny the Hooper, and I will not be responding any further. Just leave it there. Okay.
But yeah, I do really wonder what's going to happen to creative. I'll tell you this: if the show ends up completely untouched, completely, I'll be very, very if it holds to form, I'll be very shocked. But hopefully we'll fucking see. And like you mentioned, Monty, this is a show right where he's at, and I do see the same thing happening where it's like, if they're next to him, he's gonna just show up because why not? So hopefully
it feels like he enjoys the kind of. I mean, again, I've been fear of going full knowing Vince. It does. It certainly feels like he enjoys the sensation of fucking around with these things a little bit. Right? It kind of makes it clear who's in charge.
He likes that. He likes doing because Joe, I've been told of the most minor of things he'll tweak to some of these shows from remote location. They'll send him a thing. I'll give an example to those who don't know. Maybe a month ago, there was a SmackDown, right? Triple H's team put the whole show together, and then it said Viking Raiders versus Strowman and Ricochet, and he was just like, Ricochet versus Ivar. And then left the rest of the show completely alone. And it's like, you did that not because like you particularly care about one match over the other. You did it just to put your dick on the table. Like you just just be like, hey, I could do this. I'm just letting y'all know. Like I could do this. So
some mob shit, man.
yeah. It's like being like a Don walking into a bar that like you get all free shit in, and you just shot someone in plain sight in front of everybody, knowing that no one's gonna rat you out. Like that's his position.
Sounds like Serpico. I just watched it. These.
Yeah, that's a great movie, by the way.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh man. But yeah, Vince is like raw, man. It's I don't really have too much else to say on it, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's, Vince is gonna Vince, I guess all we can do now is wait and see and see if he blows up the show or if he doesn't, and that's kind of that's what we're waiting on now.
The idea of like it mostly being Triple H's WWE, and then every 2 months there's just like a single Vince show where he just fucking goes nuts and breaks out every angle and fucks with things, and then Triple H just pretends. There is a part of me that is amused because last time there was stuff he did that Triple H has ignored completely. Remember they had like the
yeah, but bro, they even done the next show that they did. You could genuinely tell that there was an effort into like course correcting.
Monty, here's the best one. I forgot what it was, but like Vince had it written that like Brock's reason for attacking Cody was like he was mad that Cody was main eventing WrestleMania. And then, like, on one of the Triple H SmackDowns, like, Cole was like, there's a rumor that Brock attacked Cody because he main evented. And Wade Barrett was like, that's just a rumor, Cole. No one really buys Brock Lesnar, cares about his spot on the card. Come on now, Cole. And, like, which is Triple H basically saying, that was a fucking stupid idea. Who gives a shit, so.
Literally, like I said, you could visibly tell that they were course correcting, like, the show after, so. Yeah, man. Well, I guess like I said, all we can do at this point is wait and see how much he does blow up the show.
We haven't changed to Raw. So message was so far entire show is intact. Seth's opening the show with a promo though, so they have added a Seth Rollins opening promo. That's the only change so far.
Gives me more time to get to my TV.
I'll tell you what. As we know, this guy is the guy that does 3 to 4 drafts in the last hour. But if this is the only change, that is what Monty said. That is literally just like, so what are we doing tonight? Give me a Seth promo. Yeah. Good luck, guys. And just walks away.
Yeah, with all the suits, like,
yeah.
a little army behind him,
You get the world champ out there, brother. Got to get him out there,
Yeah, right. He looks at Hardy. He's like, my friends are watching. Make me look like put Seth out there. They'll make him look like a star. He's fucking Christ. This piece of shit.
All right, let's move away from WWE. Let's move to AEW a bit. Yeah, let's talk AEW. All right, so Andrade is close to a return. It seems we already kind of knew this because he announced that he's going to be doing an indie date. So
wait, what?
He's doing I believe is it in Mexico or somewhere?
No idea.
He's doing a date. So he's doing a date somewhere. It's on his Twitter.
Okay.
But yeah, okay. So according to Fightful Select, they report that Andrade was at the May 10th AEW Dynamite tapings. He was pitched something similar to what Miro and Thunder Rosa did, where they get interviewed really quickly by Renee Paquette, and then they go into Tony Khan's office, and then we don't see him again. Like one of those mysterious angles. Mm-hmm. So that was pitched to him apparently, and he apparently turned this down, and there was no reason given as to why in the report. Then he was at the next AEW Dynamite on May 17th and filmed a backstage segment, and it also stated in the report that he is nearing an in-ring return. He was working out in the ring pre-May 10th Dynamite, but those close to him say that he was saying that he was not ready just yet. And like I said, he's already announced recently that I'm going to pull it up. So first of all, Manu, a big hooper, is back in the game, it seems. Your thoughts on this whilst I was searching this up?
That's kind of beast that he turned down doing that walk to the office promo because those things kind of sucked. So I'm glad he wasn't a part of those. And Bro, I know that vignette, that whatever promo he cut was the one where he was promoting Collision, and then he tweeted out that he wasn't part of Collision. Remember that day where everybody's going crazy about Punk? And then everybody was going nuts because they said Andrade had no idea that he was going to be on Collision. And then an hour later, he tweeted out that video of him promoting it. Pissed me off so much, so I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
Oh.
And
I can't remember finish, man.
I thought you were going to post it. Okay,
I'll
no,
tell you
man,
what.
it's gonna be awesome, bro. I can't wait for him to be on Collision, and he's gonna wrestle all these guys. Hopefully, we get a thing with him and Roosh, to see who's the better hooper. That'll make me happy. And your turn, Monty. Show me what's going on in Puerto Rico.
What?
June 15th, Psycho Clown versus Andrade versus
it's not Puerto Rico.
Cybernetico. There it is.
Well, hold on.
Where is it happening?
Didn't he just say in Puerto Rico? Or are you talking about the promotion?
I don't know. It don't actually. Does it say a city on there? It does not.
Uh-huh.
No, it's in
Can you
Mexico.
imagine,
It's in Mexico.
Like, Manny's pitch of who's the bigger hooper. Can you imagine, like, that's how they framed it on TV, like Shivani putting it over. Two of the great hoopers in our sport,
Good
Yeah,
shit.
man. Not to be like social or to like lecture anybody, because who the fuck am I to do that? But it's very disappointing sometimes when people like try to do the whole thing of like we can only like one guy between Roosh and Andrade, and like trying to just favorably compare one guy to the other based on like the conduct of Andrade. Because for me, it's just like we don't fucking know Andrade. We don't know his reasoning for why he does certain things, and I mean, the one thing that he got punished for. I mean, we all saw it play out in public, Sammy Guevara and him went back and forth, and he's like, I'm going to punch you in the face when I see you. And he did that. But in regards to this, it's like I saw some negative response to it. And nobody knows at all why he turned down the creative, So it's his right to do so, and he chose to do so. And look, if he thought it was
what Manny and Joe said, it did kind of suck. So,
Monty, did Thunder Rosa and Miro, Monty, did Thunder Rosa and Miro come off like superstars, nondescriptly standing backstage, begging for TV time, waiting outside the office of Tony Khan?
And that's not even the thing. We haven't even seen him since. So
That's
it's
my
just
point. That's not. If he didn't want to be one of the fucking guys just doing that, standing on the line like a fucking jabroni, that's his right to do so. And if that's his reasoning, then fair play. If it's something even deeper, then also fair play. That's for him to call. All I know is this. My fandom is always based purely on how good a guy is as a talent, unless like they're literally a piece of garbage. And I think that Andrade is super talented. I think that him, yeah, man. I think both him and Roosh can exist in the same space because why can't they? Number one, and number two, I think their appeals are different. Like I think Roosh's appeal is like his viciousness, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's a super intense, and that's his thing. Andrade, he's just a very slick wrestler, in my opinion. He's very athletic. He's also pretty stiff too. His stuff looks like it hurts, So I'm excited to see him again. You know what I mean? He's gonna be on Collision, and I'm all
300 pounds.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
I will say I don't have any concerns about this, all this other stuff because it's just wrestling, right? Like that's not my domain.
Exactly.
I do have concerns about like as great as he looks visually. I've always pretty apparent that even though he had some really good performances in AEW, he was more like his movement was a lot more mechanical to me than it was in his like physical prime because he'd put on muscle and he has put on much more muscle since then. And like concern's too strong a word because fuck it, man, it is what it is. But like, hopefully he can still maintain his strengths previously. When I say strengths, I don't mean his physical strengths. I mean, the strengths of his skill set because the thing that made Andrade so special when he was really rolling was he was such a versatile worker, right? Like he could have those, like when he was working with Ray on TV, he could have these kind of like dynamic, firework matches. And then he would get in there with Brian and to Ibu's point, he could match him in physicality and go back and forth with him and throw bombs. So he's very, very versatile, super slick. And I hope that that kind of weaponry is still there with a different frame. He looks very big and hopefully he looks massive.
I do want to say is like, it took him a long time to get back to where he was.
Exactly,
and as soon as he got back to where he was, he tore his tricep. So, I mean, hopefully it doesn't take him as long as it did the first time. But, I mean, when his last couple of matches in AEW before he got hurt were freaking awesome, phenomenal. The the triple threat, the 6-man tags, and all that. Some of the best stuff that was happening on Rampage for a bit. So hopefully he comes back in that shape, in that mindset, instead of what he was doing beforehand. So
Look,
Yeah,
man, what does it say about Will Ospreay that like of all the recent like notable wrestlers to like put on a lot of muscle mass, he's the one that like transitioned the best in terms of putting on size, having a new physique, and still being like a tremendous wrestler. A lot of these other guys, you've noticed that like there's a big transition phase, and they have to kind of figure out how to like be great with their newfound size. We've seen it with Andrade, we've seen it with Buddy Matthews. This dude Will Ospreay, like he got bigger and like he's still a machine. You know what I mean? So
I think
I think he hurt his neck, and then he put on a lot of muscle, hurt his neck, and then came back a little bit smaller. But yeah,
but
I
he's
do
still
agree.
bigger than he was as a junior. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I will say though, he's like he was starting from a very different point to some of the other guys we're referencing here, right?
Yeah.
Like Will was like he looks more like he's filled out because
Right.
a lot of us first saw Will when he was like 21. He literally like a kid.
Yeah.
The other guy, I mean, I don't think anyone ever accused like Buddy or Andrade of not being jacked beforehand, right? Like, those dudes were
They
big
were already pretty
and,
jacked. Yeah.
yeah. So, and I think what you've seen with Buddy is if you put him in like a 6-man scenario, I think he's as dynamic as ever because he can kind of pick his spots.
Exactly.
I think in singles matches, he's more like you kind of see it more noticeable. And to that point, you notice Manny then when you're naming your favorite Andrade shows in AEW, it was mostly stuff where he could do similar, right? It was like a triple threat, an 8-man, whatever it may be.
Yeah,
So,
multi-person.
so I think the team with him and Roosh is, to me, is the obvious solution because frankly, the tag division needs a top heel team.
And I'm tired of watching Perro Peligroso.
That act as like a fire and ice deal is fucking money, man. Like those, because as you said, they're different talents, So
they're
I'd love
appealing.
to see it.
I'll get annoyed because like obviously what you do is have Andrade with Roosh, but I don't know, for some reason I feel like Tony Khan would just keep it like it would be Roosh and Prince Advance. We won't get any of the cool matches we want to see. So I mean,
you know why it would work? It would work really well. Tony's now stockpiled a nice and really fun collection of luchadors, babyface luchadors. You know what I mean? And Andrade and Roosh can be, the Rudos, as they say, fighting these guys, basing for them, being heels, but working their style as well and knowing how to do it, being vicious, being nasty. Like just the combination of matches you could put up on a Dynamite, a Rampage, or even a Collision with the group of Andrade and Roosh on one side, or Andrade, Roosh, and Delistico, and then having them be opposing people like like the Lucha Brothers, like Bandito, like Kingo when you have them available. I mean, there's so many cool things you could do with those guys, and that not to keep them in their own little fucking lucha box, like you said, Joe. Andrade's versatile. You know what I mean? So I'd like to see him wrestle Darby. I'd like to see whoever whoever wants to accompany them on the sidelines for that match. You know what I mean? It's up to Tony Khan, but there's tons of cool things you can do with Andrade on Collision. So yeah, real wrestling.
I want to see. I want to see Andrade and Roosh versus the BCC, man. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, that'd
be great.
I want to get some main event like tags going. Get some.
Oh, you know what I really want? I was going down this thing that pops. I was going down a rabbit hole trying to find a match between Andrade and Samoa Joe, and I couldn't find one. Not even in WWE. They never wrestled besides
the best main roster Andrade match, man. If you've never seen it, you should absolutely track it. All of the Rey Mysterio Andrade matches in 2018, 2019 on SmackDown are fucking great.
I've seen those, and I've seen the one with Seth Rollins for the Survivor Series thing.
Manny, did they team up together at some point? They did, didn't they?
No, they were in a triple threat with it was Samoa Joe, him, and I want to say Dolph Ziggler or something like that for the U.S. title or something like that. Okay. I didn't watch it, but I know that's the only time they touched.
I think they may have been on the same team at some point against like Ray and
Survivor Series. Maybe, I know they were on the same Survivor Series team.
Anyway, we'll do this another day. Sorry, folks. Manny and I exploring the catalogs of Andrade and Samoa Joe. My bad.
But either way, I love Andrade, man. I'll be excited to see him back. Hopefully, like Manny said, he can come back flowing. In other news, Ring of Honor have some authority figures now. So at a recent taping, Tony Khan came out to the stage and introduced to the crowd the new Ring of Honor board of directors, who were Stokely Hathaway and Jerry Lynn. Many obviously speculated immediately after that, maybe Tony Khan started sharing the ball a bit with like the booking responsibilities and stuff.
No.
However, shortly after that, Fightful Select reported they were pretty quick to report that this is only in kayfabe and Tony Khan is still continuing all his duties as booker, etc., etc. But of course, we are getting on-screen authority figures. Joe, your immediate reaction to this bit of news here?
It's even funnier than you just described it because Tony is also on screen with them. I don't know if you're aware of this, but they tape segments where they like debate what to do. I don't know if they're going to air these, but there was one segment in particular that I was informed was, I'm going to use the word interesting, in
Okay.
which Stoke had like a pitch and Tony was like, we can't do, and they were like bantering back and forth. And, some people said, well, maybe this shouldn't be on the show. Maybe it was just for the house. We'll hope. We'll see, I guess. But the idea that not only is this not an actual internal change, but not even an on-screen, Tony's going to be on the show more, which would be, I don't know. I'll believe it when I see it.
I'm gonna spoil it. I don't care because nobody really watches Ring of Honor. So like, was it about the Luchadors thing, right? Where he didn't want to name more Luchadors.
There was a couple, and people couldn't. Apparently, people in the house couldn't figure out if it was just for them or they were taping it. But like, they were doing like these debate segments with Tony and Stoke, and Jerry Lynn was kind of just like, like just shrugging at the whole thing. So we'll see.
You know what's really funny, Joe, is that like, whenever there's like a hole or a flaw in Tony's programming, wherever it might be, like, he'll try to correct it, right? And like, his answer in terms of what the correction is, it's never quite like what I mean, if that makes any sense, so like we've both said about like how ROH TV isn't actually like wrestling TV, it's just like a series of matches, and so for Tony to kind of go, all right, so we're gonna correct this by just having me and Stokely debate on television, really, really funny. I have a theory though. I think that I have a weird feeling that this is Tony workshopping himself and practicing to become an on-screen authority, an on-screen presence more, because if you noticed,
possibly.
Bro, because how many years he was like, I'm not doing it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to be on the show. And then this year, he's all up on these shows doing the announcements. Before you'd always have Tony Schiavone.
Speaking of which, at AEW, precisely 2 minutes ago this week on Wednesday Night Dynamite, CEO and General Manager Tony Khan will announce the main event for the Saturday, June 17th premiere of AEW Collision. Don't miss Wednesday Night Dynamite.
He makes weekly updates about Collision.
Yeah. And look, man, perfect timing. A year ago, Schiavone would be like, I have an announcement from Tony Khan. And then he'll say the announcement, right? Now, he looks at the camera, like, unblinking, and he's just like, hello, everyone. I'm Tony Khan. This week on Collision, and he'll just do the fucking thing. So that'll tell you right there. I think, Monty, that he's practicing, to be honest with you. I think he's honestly practicing to like be on TV more. Is this a good idea? Probably not. No, I don't hate on-screen authority figures as much as other people, even though like a heel authority figure is redundant as fuck and it's like a dead idea.
No, hold on.
It is. It's a dead idea, a heel authority figure. That shit's so. It's so yesterday, but
hey man, you're saying that you don't mind authority figures. So one day Tony Khan's in the middle of the ring, holding CM Punk by his hair, saying, I'm holding Collision hostage, and all that. With
like I just said, I don't like heel authority figures like that. I just said that. He's talking about holding the show hostage. I'm talking like William Regal coming in like once a month and be like. We're doing a fucking tournament. You know what I mean? It's not the end of the world. But my point is,
hold on. Regal had some Mojo as his heater for a bit. Remember there during the pandemic?
About 3 weeks. Yeah.
Joe wasn't a heel. He was a baby face.
He was, yeah.
A baby face, a heater. Yeah. Huh?
There's no such thing as a baby face. Anyway, the point I'm making is this: I don't hate authority figures. The thing is, can Tony Khan be on television? Is he good enough to do television? And not in that role, in my opinion. So we'll fucking see where this goes. I don't know what this thing is going to mean for Stokely. I've asked about like what this entails and that type of stuff, and haven't got any detailed answers. So I guess we'll see. Like why is Stokely and Jerry Lynn the board? But I guess we'll see. We're gonna find out, like Monty said about the Collision main event. I can tell you guys that there will be an angle shot to lead to this main event on Wednesday. So very excited.
Hopefully some real graps.
Professional wrestling angles. Bro.
Some real
I
angles.
think, Monty, I think you can expect some real grabs on Wednesday when it comes to the angle for this. So, and oh, you know what? Another thing. I don't know when this will probably get out, but there's going to be some radical changes to the creative process of AEW programming, like imminently.
No.
Manny.
We'll put a pin in that, and we'll
Yep. And we'll check back on it.
We'll say before we move on, Monty, the Ring of Honor thing. Yesterday's taping was noticeably like thin, on real quality. It was very apparent when you scrolled through the updates and such. And obviously, Claudio and Zach were not available, so it was always kind of a challenging time to do it anyway. I think as fans of Ring of Honor, what we want it to be, I think it's worth seeing what happens when it lands on this Saturday spot, when it's taped with Collision. Hopefully this Stoke thing will be more impactful when it's in that setting and they have a better idea of what it's going to be, because right now it's struggling a bit. So
it's tough, and I can speak on behalf of me and Manny, but we try to tough out this Ring of Honor thing longer than most. It's
I gave up a long time ago, man. I tried toughing it.
Manny, do you remember the first week? This is an all-time Hooper moment. He got the first week of Ring of Honor TV. He goes, I think it's better than NXT, black and gold, prime. And I was like, Manny. 5 weeks later, I'll be hitting Manny up like, did you see Ring of Honor? No.
Yeah. Manny, the way Manny will commit to something like initially and and he'll just be like, this is it. Like, bro, it's he watched he discovers Daisuke Sekimoto 2 weeks ago from BJW. And he's just like, man, this is real poor, man. I'm going to watch BJW. And he realizes that, like, only one other guy in BJW wrestles like Daisuke Sekimoto. And then he just kind of gives up after, like, 3 days. I was just like, all right.
He does Manny's a deep diver, bro. It's what he does.
Yeah, and if I can't find any of the matches, there's nothing to deep dive into. I just dove and hit concrete, bro. I just got to...
Regarding Ring of Honor, with Monty, it's very obvious to tell when Monty is, like, his belief in something is being shaken, because the thing is we could tell pretty early on after the first 2 to 3 weeks, they're like, this is not going to be quite what we thought it was going to be, perhaps, right? And I'm talking to Monty about it, and at first, Joe, you know how I do, I just kind of ask a leading question, right? I'm like, yeah, I ask a leading question. I'll let you dictate how spiteful the conversation is going to go, And so I did that with Monty. I'm like, yeah, what do you think about this Ring of Honor so far? And he basically was just like, even if I think it's bad, I'm not going to say so. And I was just kind of like, I hear you, man. Yeah.
But I do want to.
It's a small enough show where you can still get away with it,
The last thing I'm gonna add my Big Japan kick is, after one match of watching Okabayashi, I added him to my Ring of Hoopers graphic. So
that was very good. That was very good work, Manny. Very good.
Took me a long time to make.
Speaking of Hoopers in the pure world, Dominion took place over the weekend, and it included some setups for matches on Forbidden Door, G1 announcements and stuff like that. So Will Ospreay defeated Lance Archer to become the IWGP United States Championship #1 contender. Looks like he's going to be facing Kenny Omega at Forbidden Door. Obviously, that someone asked us earlier, I think it might have been last week, like, what's our match of the year so far? I was very, very quick to say Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay. I think that's still my match of the year by some distance. So them running it back is definitely something I won't be complaining about. Joe, also your match of the year so far.
Yep.
As expected, the result of Ospreay defeating Archer, but I thought it was a really good match, man. I thought I liked it. It was only like 8 minutes or something. Mm-hmm. But like they got everything in that they needed to, it was great, man.
Yeah, it was a good sprint, and I love where we're headed here. I think there's a chance for a really special. I mean, it's going to be a special match, you know that anyway. But I think there's a way to present this in terms of Ospreay's part in particular, where you really create something special with the atmosphere in terms of the crowd. I think these two guys are always capable of having the kind of the stereotypical modern match, and that was more dismissive than I intended to. The first match was not that to me. there was a lot of like grit and spite and resentments that first match, and Kenny was a destroyer in that thing.
No, it's a piece
And I
of
think
shit.
with this sequel,
It was
you have a
great.
chance to be again, to kind of do something creative and memorable with it, and have Ospreay be similar, right? In Canada, it feels like Ospreay should really lean in that direction. So I can't wait to see what these guys come up with. I mean, I love the first match. It's been a great year of wrestling, and that's still my top match by like a distance. Genuinely, like nothing's to me, and I've loved a lot of wrestling this year, but I can't wait. It's blockbuster, tremendous professional wrestling.
Manny, you fired up for this Ospreay Omega number 2.
Yeah, it wasn't my match of the year. It's number 2 behind Eddie Kingston and Claudio Castagnoli. But man, I remember after the first match, Dave saying that they held stuff back, and I remember rewatching the match after he said that. I'm like, what did they hold back? Like this, like I thought Kenny Omega almost committed a murder out there. I still have the image in my head of him grabbing Ospreay's face and just putting him through the table.
Yeah.
To me, that was one of the most brutal things I've ever seen in pro wrestling. And I'm like, how are they even going to top that? So I'm really curious to see how these guys go out there, especially when Ospreay's on one shoulder and Kenny Omega's beat up too. So I think we're in for some generational graphs, guys. I mean, especially with the other co-main event, I think it is happening, but maybe co-main event. So
Good shit. Ibe?
What are we talking about? I'm sorry. I was reading some messages.
These guys do gossiping and fucking.
I just got so many.
You know what? We don't want your opinion. We're moving on to something else.
Hey,
we also got the my favorite match on the show at Dominion was the 6-man tag. Okada, Ishii, Tanahashi versus Blackpool Combat Club. Well, yeah, Shota is a Blackpool Combat Club member, But yeah, Blackpool Combat Club versus those three. Match was great. After the match, Mark's got on the mic, which didn't work at first, but he got it working eventually. And he basically cut a promo disputing that the guys in the ring aren't the best in the world, and they've got a message from the best in the world. And he pointed to the Tron, and we got like a video package from Bryan Danielson, and he's out there in he's in canyons and the hills hiking, and he's talking about how he's heard about how Okada wants to wrestle him and that he's apparently the best in the world and nobody can be truly great until they've been tested by Bryan Danielson. And he said something, he closed it with something like, in the desert, it doesn't rain, and then he goes off there. Bryan Danielson's challenged Kazuchika Okada, man. It looks like that's another match set for Forbidden Door. Of course, a dream match of all dream matches, to be honest, of this era of wrestlers. Especially if you're a big work rate guy, if that's your type of wrestling, then you can't really ask for much more. Especially when you're getting Kenny and Ospreay on the same card as well. So this is a real cocktail for something special with the first 2 matches taking shape for Forbidden Door. Yeah, man, Ibu.
yes,
I'll give you some chance for redemption here. Okada, Danielson.
Yeah. That's fucking crazy, man. That's like a legitimate dream match that like people have like fantasy booked and like imagined in their heads for pretty much a decade. And it's one of those ones where like it's one of those ones that like it's like a pie in the sky. Like, could you imagine if this guy faced this guy type of thing? And like it was never really realistic until a couple of years ago. And I mean, we've been wanting to see Danielson mix it up with the top New Japan guys for a couple of years. I mean, before he even fully committed to AEW, when he was trying to decide what company to stay with or sign with in last 2 springs ago, if you remember, he was saying like, I'd like to go to Japan. I'd like to wrestle those guys. And this is the realization of it. He's going to be in a sold out crowd at Forbidden Door, and he's going to have a match at Okada that's probably going to be one of the greatest on American soil. There's no doubt in my mind that this will live up to what it's billed as, and I'm very excited for it. And I think this, along with Kenny Omega and Ospreay as a doubleheader, is as good as it gets ever. So that's a stacked top 2, regardless of what else happens on this card. And I'm pretty certain that there's going to be some other great stuff on the card. So it looks great on paper, and this will probably be even better than the first Forbidden Door, which is an amazing show.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, Manny, Okada, Danielson. Does this make the Hoopers list?
Yes, it does. Especially like I couldn't even talk for a second, man. I was just everything about this was awesome from the match, and then John Moxley starting off the promo by saying, "Mother effer, I got something to say," and then pointing to the Tron after that. And then like Danielson, like Danielson was such in a nice place hiking, it was like beautiful around there, and he started cutting such an intense, hateful promo there. It was just something about it was just awesome. And then it pans to Okada, and Okada just smiling like this match is finally happening. This is just pro wrestling at its best. And a side note, real quick, I thought it was real interesting that Claudio and Tanahashi were wrestling each other. And I want you guys to remember at the last Supercard of Honor, Tanahashi won his match.
Mm-hmm.
So I think at Death Before Dishonor, we're setting up Claudio Castagnoli versus Tanahashi. You heard it here first from me.
I love it.
And when it does happen, you better give me credit.
Quick note on, because obviously the headline here is Bryan and Okada, and rightly so. But Manny, you brought him up so quickly. You've been consistent on this, but I'm increasingly, further along on the bandwagon in terms of just this has got to be the best Claudio's ever been in his whole life, and that covers some ground because that guy's been great for years and years now. But I was watching him on Sunday and was just like blown away by it. He was jumping off the page in that match. That match contained 5 of the great workers of the last 20 years. And I don't mean that as a spite show. He's brand new, right? Like, that is what he is. But he was like the star of the match. This guy is extraordinary. Now, with that, there's not news, I'm aware, but to the Bryan deal, how awesome is this, like, sincere kind of, unwritten rule about everyone in the BCC agreeing that Bryan is actually the man and the number one wrestler? Like, the idea of John Moxley, the ace of AEW, the multi-time world's champion, being like, we train with the undisputed best wrestler in the world. Here he is. Like that is, if any wrestler was, deserving of that kind of framing, it's Bryan. So it's going to be special. This is the exact kind of matchup you imagined when this working relationship came to be. So, I don't know, man. I don't think Bryan's going to be having matches like this for that much longer, to be honest, which only makes me more certain that he is going to go absolutely insane in this spot. Like, everything he's got, I think, is going to be on display opposite Okada. I think you're going to get one of the great matches. I really believe that.
100%.
Joe, to your point about Claudio,
mm-hmm.
not only did he kind of stand out and jump out in a match with all these other great wrestlers, this guy was running late to even get to the show. Like his flight was delayed. He basically like jumps out the cab, switches into his gear, and just runs into the venue and does that match and has that performance, which is inhuman. Genuinely inhuman. And
he's a machine.
He is.
It's so remarkable.
Hold on, the machine's already on the roster, Brian Cage, but
all right.
Don't fuck yourself, man.
Can you imagine comparing Brian Cage to Claudio? And what makes it just look, man, he was great on the Lucha tag on Monday, that awesome tag opener.
Oh yeah.
He was great here. Look, Monty will tell you, I voted him for the rest of the week. So yes, we just know the real, Joe. We just know the real.
The biggest thing with Claudio is, and Manny, I promise I'm gonna let you speak off this. I apologize, but the biggest thing is it's so important you don't get lost in the like what if with his career. Like he should have done this, he should have done that. I wish they'd have done this with him. It's like, bro, like just sometimes forget all that and look at the career he's had and the quality he's produced across his like apparent 15-year prime at this point. Like. He's been incredible, man. I'm honestly now, Manny. Please, man, please. I'm sorry.
I do want to. He's been a work rate champion too. Like he wrestled all last week. He did the 2 house shows last weekend. Then did the Dynamite. Then jumped on a plane and had this match. So this guy is constantly working, proving like he's worth. A lot of people thought maybe he would just do like certain Dynamites like everybody else, but him and Tony Storm are doing all the shows possible. And I do want to say that. Moxley did make it clear that him and especially him and Claudio have their visas now, so they're going to be in Japan more, which got me so excited because that means we're going to have like the BCC represented too in New Japan. So that's awesome.
And you guys know how insane Mox is. I mean, Mox, when Tony let him, he was doing a bunch of indie dates last year and the year before. If it was up to him, I bet you he would absolutely do some Eddie Guerrero, Benoit, Jericho shit in terms of like going to Japan like 2 times a month while doing Dynamites. You know, like he would absolutely do that.
And I think he's going to drag Claudio along for the ride, him or Yuta. So I mean, that's going
Now,
to be.
Tony Khan sanction and allow that? I don't know, but if it was up to him, he would totally do it. Go ahead, Joe.
Of all of the combinations and dynamics in the Blackpool Combat Club, all of them are great. But the Moxley Claudio one is like, it's magic because they're so different, but you can tell they like truly love one another, and there's such a like connection between them and a bond. It's great. Like when you see Moxley revving himself up and they share the big like fist bump on the way down, they're complete opposites. And that's why it rules. It's like how when back in the day, Flair and On had that deal. And it was like, why are these two dudes best friends? I don't fucking know, man. It's just graps, you know. That's the way. That's the way it works. It's a beautiful thing. So I love it.
All right. Elsewhere on Dominion, I believe it was on Dominion. Anyway, either way, we got the G1 Climax contestants announced. So to run through some of the, obviously we got a lot of the big names: Okada, Naito, Sanada, Ospreay, Tanahashi, David Finlay, Shingo, Shota, Ishii, Tamatonga's in it. Of course, he's reportedly working without a contract. A lot of other names that you would expect to see in it: Kenta, ZSJ, and some debut entrants. Kaito Kiyomiya, of course, a very that's a great entrance in my opinion. Former GHC champion, had the match with Okada, had the feud with Okada earlier on in the year, which was really, really good shit. So it's great that he's getting mixed up in it as well. And of course, go through some more of the debut entrants. Gabriel Kidd, Yota Tsuji, Shane Haste. Who else we got?
Mikey Nichols.
Brenda Rita. And the big one in the WrestlePurists worldwide universe, Eddie Kingston is going to be in the G1 Climax. Tears in my eyes, Joe.
I never thought I'd see the day, brother. I knew Dominion was Papa Holbert's first full like proper New Japan show. It was on at 8 a.m. here, as you know, Monty, and I was like, I'm kind of looking forward to this more than in the matches, and he was completely baffled as to why I said this, because to him it was just dudes flashing up on the screen for the G1. I was like, I don't know, man, there might be an AEW guy. There might be an AEW guy. And when King showed up, that was the biggest reaction I had all night. And I loved the show. I loved the damn wrestling on that show. But I stood up. But I mean, it's honestly, at one point with King's career, there was a hope that he would get booked for like, an All Japan tour or something before he hung him up. That was like a big thing. People used to always try and campaign for that. It's like, bro, his whole career has been like a fairy tale story for the last 3 years. Granted, there's been ups and downs. It goes without saying it's Eddie Kingston. But the G1, like, that's as good as it gets. And if as a fan, I can't wait to follow it because it gives me, like, I always love the G1 just because it's such a romantic thing, right? The G1 is awesome. But having Eddie to follow it through that lens, cannot wait. Beautiful.
Amazing stuff. Manny.
The pop that Eddie got was awesome, bro. You would think people would know who he was, but, man, I can't wait for him to be in front of that crowd, especially when they pop for his graphic. Hopefully, putting all my energy out there, he stays healthy through the whole thing. But, we don't got time for negativity here. So I can't wait to see all the matches he's going to have. Haven't been this excited for New Japan in a while. So let's go, Eddie. Hope we bring back the big one.
Let's go, Eddie. Absolutely. Ibu, you fired up?
Yeah, I'm actually more interested in other people being added to this. Specifically, I really want to scout people like Gabriel Kidd. To be honest with you, I'm very much interested in how he does and if he can ascend and make the most of this Bullet Club role that he has. In regards to Eddie Kingston, I mean, look, who isn't gonna love Eddie Kingston just wrestling every day in Japan? That's just awesome. It's a dream come true for him. But selfishly, I wish, I got to see him on wrestling television on Saturdays more, which we will, but we won't for that month, which is unfortunate. So, but nonetheless, I mean, look, Eddie Kingston in Japan, that's going to be good shit.
Absolutely. The stuff of dreams, Ibu. The stuff of dreams, mate.
He's going to scream to the heavens post-match in his first match in Japan. He's going to scream Inoki. He's going to scream about Ricky Dozan.
I wonder who your main events with.
I don't know. He's gonna
He'll get one main event.
one of those nights. He's gonna main event against a great wrestler. It's gonna be an excellent match, and he's gonna scream about like how he's always wanted to do this, and he's gonna talk about I had a tape of a G1 climax. It was Ricky Choshu and Hashimoto. And he looks at the sky and he'll be like, Hashimoto, I did this for you. I promise you, it's gonna be something like that in the promo.
Also,
did they announce the blocks yet or no?
No, but it's worth noting that he's working the New Japan Strong shows, right, Korakuen? So he's working Kenta on I think the 5th of July. So there'll be a little kind of warm up period there too. So we'll see.
Right, I'm gonna fly through some super chats and we're gonna get out of here. All right. Miguel A. $5. He says that good for nothing Thanos glove of talent that Triple H brought back has to be sweating bullets. Well, you know, everyone, you always hear about talent not being too happy when Vince is around, you know. Darren KG, $5. Just want to mention we currently have the Bloodline angle, Elite Callis verse, and Okada versus New Japan Young Boys all at the same time. Generationally real grabs. A lot of good stuff going on, man.
Absolutely.
You know, especially if you're keeping your eye out for it, you know. Looking at all the promotions, you know, they all have something to offer. LC for free, $5. Even if you're looking for work, I've heard Give Me Sport needs a new lead writer.
Absolutely not.
Anwar Starwin, $5. If Cody wins the Royal Rumble for the second straight year and loses in the main event of WrestleMania again, that would be legendary. That's very spiteful, to be honest with you. Pizza Dog 199, appreciate you helping Ibu out since he has to retire. Appreciate you very much. Karl Marx 199. Comrade Joe, flex and pose, do it for communism.
I feel like I've been really clear on this, like, wait for the Usos match graphic, but
you know what? That's the thing. I know you've been really hung on this. When that graphic officially drops with all 4 individuals in the graphic, you might turn into a crazy person, you know.
I'll sign it to AO earlier, bro. You know, because he knows that I'm a big Cody guy, so you know what AO is like. Our listeners know what AO is like. He tried getting on my ass, bro, earlier. You know, thinking I was evil. I'm a big Roman guy as well. That's the thing, you know. I had to warn him. I was like, brother. When we get when we get Roman and Solo versus the Usos, me and Hulbert might become really shameless, you know. So
I'm gonna
just warning everyone.
I'm gonna turn into an animal when that graphic on Wednesday comes out for the main event for Collision. I already asked for that day off, man. The next day off. I was working Sunday. I asked for Sunday off. I said I don't even know I'm gonna be able to come into work on after that. So I asked for it off, and I'm ready, man. You know, so
ready to go, brother.
I'm ready to ball.
All right,
bro,
$5. Are they really going to have Tony just get on TV and say Punk and Joe main event Collision? Probably. After an angle, maybe, but probably.
That match is going to happen.
Yep.
It's not happening on Collision Episode 1 anymore.
Mazfan84 199. I pray for times like this. JPEG King in the G1 Okada Bryan. I mean, we all pray for times like this, bro.
Sure.
You know. National Cody Fan Club Association $4.99 again. Appreciate you very much. You know what? Screw it. I'm not like these bad faith pure uppers. We want MJF versus Sonata. Do we?
Oh, come on. I mean, I guess we do need a rest nap, like a nap before we go. So.
Darren KG $2. Said there's no Kento in G1, but I'll take Eddie Kyle. Yeah, man, it's a nice lineup, bro. To be honest, I mean, like, with AEW, there was a lot of a lot of people kind of expecting like some really dream brackets for the next few years, and we haven't quite got that. But you know, when we get, I'll take my Eddie Kingston and my Kiyomiya.
Sure, yeah.
You know, so
Kyle was so good.
Yeah, he's awesome, man. He's awesome.
Like,
Ace material.
I haven't seen a lot of Puro, just like, the big matches and stuff like that, or all the Gaijins or whatever. But Eddie Kingston has to be like the funny looking, like out of all the Gaijins that go over there. Like, you just,
bro, did you say he's funny looking?
like compared to, I mean,
god damn, bro.
This man's acting like he was
Right,
like great.
Let's get these out the way and wrap up. All right. Massa 94 199. Eddie Claudio rematch at Wrestle Kingdom would hit better.
In some, maybe.
Maybe. Massa 94 again. Kingston post match backstage. New Japan promos. Yeah, man. I can imagine it'll cook, bro. Custodian Brian Pillman Jr. 199. Main event Pillman versus Philip Collision. Go to sweep. I mean, keep dreaming, brother. Keep dreaming. I respect it a lot. But yeah, let's wrap up. Yeah. Anyone got any real quick plugs?
Yes.
Quick ones.
Match guide, brother. The match guide is out. Tune in
Yes.
for a Gates of Agony victory lap.
Beautiful stuff.
I really had a fun time reviewing the trios we talked about earlier too. So have a look over it if you're into that kind of thing. It was a good time this week.
Yeah, man. And yeah, we appreciate everybody who tuned in. As always, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. I haven't really done the best job of plugging those throughout this, but we appreciated all the super chats though, as always. And we'll be back tomorrow with Don't Go Live, and they will do a proper review of Dominion and anything else that happened in, the Puro world over the last week or so and stuff that's coming up. So, yeah, man. See you guys tomorrow, and yeah, man. Peace out.